See these big old hanging baskets right here? Well, they've got some potatoes in there for us to harvest. Look at this. Some nicer ones right down in here. Hey, these are going to be delicious.
Guten gardening, everybody. Last season we created some DIY shepherd's hooks.
We made them using these U-posts and some of these nice hooks that we got from the store. We spent about $10 or $12, but we needed something sturdy enough to handle these bigger hanging baskets.
And the reason behind this was because we wanted to try growing some hanging basket potatoes. And in the end, when we harvested those hanging baskets, we got some decent production out of them.
Well, these have been dead for quite some time, so I'm interested to see what we ended up getting. I can tell you though that we definitely got some production. All right, here you can see the 4 hanging baskets that we planted the potatoes in. These are gigantic baskets, and growing on top you can see one of the most common weeds in our area, or at least at our house, and that's this stinging nettle. And I know for a fact that this is often used for medicinal purposes. I definitely understand that, but I've never tried it. So for those of you that use this stinging nettle, I'm just going to go down here and remove it. I'm going to put some gloves on to remove it. For those of you that use it, what do you use this stinging nettle for?
My understanding is that the stinging part on the leaves goes away whenever you prepare it, but I'm still a little bit hesitant.
I will say though that I understand that the leaves are the part that cause the stinging, so I try to avoid that. So you do want to avoid the leaves if you're trying to just pick it out with your hands. You got to go for the stem so you don't feel the burn. All right, we're gonna get this out of here, and then once I've got this cleared up, we're gonna see if we got some good production in here or not. You can see what's left of the potato stems here, all dried up, and certainly they've been dead for a while. Oh, and just about as common a weed, and I'm calling it a weed because we only planted it one time and we can't get rid of it, that's this strawberry spinach. It's literally everywhere. All right, let's take a little bit of a look at the setup here. We have some burlap on the outside, and then we put some of our food-safe plastic on the inside for this layout. And of course, we have to have holes drilled in the bottom. So we drilled right through the black plastic so that when it waters or rains, the water can drain through this. Otherwise, we'd have a soggy mess, and that's not what we want. Now, this smaller basket, which is a 14-inch basket, is the only one set up a little bit differently. We have one of those plastic guards like you would get with a basket like this. And then this is like that mossy kind of filler that they have as well. But there are holes drilled into this plastic too. Let's go ahead and empty this first one and see what we've got underneath. Well, as I am trying to empty this out, I'm already seeing some of these purple Magic Molly potatoes, which is what I planted in here. These are from our old potatoes from last year, from our last harvest. Ooh, look. That's a nice one here. So as I'm getting into this harvest, I think we need to ask the question, why? Why would you want to grow potatoes in a hanging basket? And I think really the simple answer to this, for me anyway, is that we all have limited space, but we all typically have access to more vertical space than we necessarily have access to horizontal space. Look at that. So if you know you don't have a ton of space and you need to go vertical, this is an inexpensive way to grow any number of plants out there. So this is just one option. I mean, potatoes are, in our opinion, one of our favorite vegetables to grow. And so we want to always have the option to grow more. So this is why we chose potatoes in here. But really, hanging baskets are a great option for any number of plants. And knowing that we sometimes have extra seed potatoes left over from a previous growing season that we don't want to just get rid of, if we have access to hanging baskets like this, I mean, look at the production so far. Look at this. From one little 14-inch hanging basket. And while I'm at it, I want to show you the holes. See, this is what I'm talking about. We just have a bunch of holes drilled into all the plastic in here for the purpose of drainage. I'm going to tell you something. I am absolutely loving this harvest so far. And I've still got 3 more of these to harvest. So yeah, this is looking pretty good. The results on this, look at that. That's amazing. I'll take this any day. I kind of want to take one of these big ones and open it up as well. We'll see how well these perform. These were in a different area with a little bit less sunlight than the smaller ones, but I'll do the second small one last. But get in here and see what we have in terms of production for this bigger one. Well, that was so much fun for that first hanging basket. All right, there's another nice one. I tell you what, the purple magic mollies are a fingerling potato. There's something about these fingerling potatoes that I really like. You know, this variety in particular is a really buttery, kind of waxy potato with a really nice flavor to it. And I would say that for most of the fingerling potatoes that I've eaten before, I've really liked the taste. How about you? Do you like fingerling potatoes? Have you ever eaten fingerling potatoes? I think somebody commented on one of our videos not too long ago that they didn't even know prior to us harvesting fingerling potatoes that that was a thing. Well, they're definitely a thing, and they taste really good. Well, we're getting a decent number out of this bed, but it's not nearly what it was for the ones that had that full sunlight that was in our front garden space. I'll tell you, that front garden area is absolutely fabulous when it comes to production, and I really think that full sunlight, that all-day sun, is what makes the difference. I also want to say, as I get ready for this other hanging basket here, when we did our purple magic molly harvest last season, those potatoes were so big you wouldn't have even known, I think, that they were fingerling potatoes. These look more like the fingerlings kind of size that you would anticipate, I think. But these are going to be super tasty. Oh, and one thing about purple potatoes, those purple potatoes have those anthocyanins in them. Remember, we talk about this every time we harvest those vegetables that are purple or blue. The anthocyanins are really, really healthy for you, and they appear in those purple, blue kind of colored vegetables, and they add another health benefit to a vegetable that I think is already nice and good for you. And that is one of the things we love about these magic mollies. Oh, there we go. There's another one in there. I'll say this too, if you didn't know this already, most of the mix that we're using in our containers, and certainly in these, this one looks like it has some damage to it, but most of the containers that we have here are ones that are filled with the mix that we've used in the past. So all we've done is we come in and we've added some of our fertilizer to it. We've added some more, in some cases, vermiculite and other things to amend the soil, and then we're getting good production. And even if we're not getting the biggest ones out of this container, again, I'd say sunlight had a lot to do with that piece, we're still getting good production. Take a look at how our harvest is going so far, and we've still got multiple more. Look at this, multiple more. Oh, I almost missed that one. In this one, this hanging basket, and I still got this other hanging basket to go. Let's see. Oh, there's another one right. Oh, look at that. All right. So think about this. You've never grown potatoes before, or you don't have enough space you think to grow potatoes. Could you potentially invest in a hanging basket, put together your own kind of shepherd's hook to hold it in place, and then grow yourself some potatoes that you can enjoy? All right, let's dump this last hanging basket out here and see what grew inside. Hey, are you enjoying this harvest video? If you are, go ahead and hit that like button. That really helps us out. Well, in this basket, we've got some of them hanging out here from the sides already, a couple smaller ones. I think there's probably gonna be some nicer ones. Oh, yes, there are. Look at this. Some nicer ones right down in here. Hey, these are going to be delicious. Now think about it this way. We did a video where we talked about SMART goals, smarter goals, and smartest goals. And one of the things we talked about was the need to be able to feed our family from the food that we're harvesting. When we add this additional vertical space, what we're doing is adding meals that we can provide to our family. Think about it that way. Think about the meals, the additional meals that just these simple hanging baskets that aren't taking up much space at all are now going to be able to provide food, good food, organic food directly to our family, just as a result of this little bit of, I guess I could call it, innovation that we're getting. This kind of little simple step can bring some additional produce into our family. And since we're using our seed potatoes from last season, The cost for this is absolutely minimal. And I'll remind you that the food we grow here at Guten Gardening is all grown organically. So this is the highest quality of food that we can create and grow for our family. Take a look at this. I mean, come on. This is exactly what I would hope to find in these hanging baskets. And now I'm going to show you what our whole harvest from these four little baskets ended up looking like. All right, take a look at this beautiful purple Magic Molly potato harvest from hanging baskets. Every single one of these is a step closer towards self-sufficiency. It's another example of us growing our own food, and we're doing it, I would say, in a pretty unique way. Well, we hope you enjoyed today's video. We hope you found it inspirational. Hey, you can grow potatoes in hanging baskets for sure. If you did enjoy today's video, don't forget to give us a like, leave us a comment, remember to share and subscribe, and most importantly, remember, when you're with us, you are good to grow.